Beneath one of the most mysterious and sacred places on Earth, scientists have made a discovery that could rewrite history itself. The Temple Mount, a site of deep spiritual power and ancient secrets, is now revealing what has been hidden for thousands of years. What lies below its surface is not just stone and dust, but something that could change everything we thought we knew about human civilization. When the first scans of the underground chambers came back, the research team couldn't believe their eyes. Beneath layers of forgotten history, they saw perfect geometric structures, tunnels, vaults, and chambers, too precise to be natural. Something was built there, something powerful, and it's older than any known civilization in the region. At first, scientists thought they were just looking at old ruins, maybe from King Solomon's time. But as they dug deeper, strange metallic objects started to appear, objects that didn't match any known archaeological period. Their composition, when tested, contained elements not usually found in ancient artifacts. One researcher said it felt like the site was guarding something far beyond human understanding. The Temple Mount has always been surrounded by myths, the Ark of the Covenant, hidden tunnels, divine artifacts said to hold untold power. But now, some of those myths might not be myths at all. New ground-penetrating radar scans revealed symmetrical corridors leading toward a sealed chamber. What's inside that chamber remains unknown, but the readings suggest something massive and not made of stone. Security around the area increased overnight. Teams were told to halt work, and officials claimed it was for safety reasons. But insiders leaked that energy levels near the lower tunnels spiked unexpectedly, electromagnetic surges with no clear source. Some even claimed that electronic devices stopped working when they got too close. It was like the ground itself was alive. Whispers began to spread. Was this evidence of lost ancient technology, or something sacred, hidden for a reason? Historians and scientists debated fiercely. Some said the discovery could connect directly to the first temple, built by King Solomon. Others believed it could be something even older, from a forgotten pre-biblical civilization wiped out by time and flood. Satellite images of the area began to show subtle shifts in the terrain, as if something underneath was changing or reacting to the excavation above. Experts from multiple countries were suddenly called in, and all data from the site was restricted. Yet small fragments of information kept leaking out, suggesting the team might have found inscriptions written in an unknown script that no modern linguist can yet decode. People around the world began to wonder, could this be evidence of contact between ancient humans and something beyond? The designs on the discovered stones were unlike any known ancient Hebrew, Egyptian, or Mesopotamian patterns. They glowed faintly under ultraviolet light, forming a spiral symbol repeated across several artifacts, a symbol never before seen in Middle Eastern archaeology. Religious scholars urged caution. They warned that the Temple Mount is not just an archaeological site, it's sacred ground, and disturbing it could bring consequences beyond science. Some claimed that ancient texts already warned of awakening the buried flame beneath Zion. But curiosity is a powerful force, and despite warnings, exploration continued. And then came the moment that changed everything. Deep in the lower section, workers broke through a thin limestone wall and found a perfectly preserved chamber. The air inside hadn't been touched for thousands of years. What they saw next was so shocking, some team members refused to continue. A structure stood at the center, metallic, glowing faintly, covered in unknown symbols, as if waiting to be awakened.
As news of the chamber spread, the site was quickly locked down. Only a handful of scientists were allowed inside, and no cameras were permitted. But one unnamed source described the scene in vivid detail: a massive circular object, smooth as glass, humming with a low vibration. The closer they got, the stronger the vibration became, as if the object recognized their presence. Some compared it to the sound of a heartbeat echoing through the walls of the earth. When tests were run on the air inside the chamber, results shocked the researchers. The oxygen levels were different, and traces of a gas not naturally found on Earth's surface were detected. It was as though this underground space had been sealed to protect or preserve something or someone for millennia. The metallic structure itself emitted a faint electromagnetic field that interfered with every device brought near it. Rumors began to swirl that this object might be linked to the Ark of the Covenant, or even to a technology described in ancient Hebrew and Mesopotamian texts. Some experts compared it to the shamir, the mythical device said to cut stone without touch, a lost tool of divine origin. The possibility that the Temple Mount held remnants of advanced ancient knowledge suddenly didn't seem impossible. Governments quietly took interest. Intelligence agencies began monitoring communications from the research site, and soon most of the findings were classified. Public statements claimed the dig was halted due to cultural sensitivities, but insiders said otherwise. Something had been found, something that could change the world's understanding of history, religion, and maybe even physics. The scientists who had been closest to the artifacts started noticing strange side effects. Some reported vivid dreams, flashing symbols, and sensations of being called back to the chamber. A few described seeing ancient cities in their visions, with glowing towers and skies filled with energy, as if they were remembering a civilization that once thrived under divine guidance. Meanwhile, independent researchers began connecting the dots. They noted that the spiral symbol found beneath the Temple Mount matched symbols seen in other ancient sites in Egypt, in Turkey's Göbekli, and even in South America. Could these civilizations have shared a hidden origin? Was there once a single advanced culture that disappeared, leaving behind fragments buried under holy ground? Then a new scan of the artifact revealed something no one expected: a hollow interior. The readings showed a dense core surrounded by what appeared to be a complex system of channels, almost like veins. Some speculated it could be an ancient power source designed to harness natural energy from the earth itself. Others believed it could be a containment device, holding something far beyond human understanding. The atmosphere around the site grew tense. Guards were stationed everywhere, drones hovered silently, and the researchers were sworn to secrecy. Yet whispers persisted that the object had begun to emit light on its own, a golden pulse that grew brighter each night. Theories exploded online. Was it divine, extraterrestrial, or a remnant of an age when gods walked among men? Religious leaders across the world began calling for restraint, urging scientists not to tamper with forces they might not understand. But curiosity had already taken hold. Late one night, the team decided to send a robotic probe inside the object's hollow center. The images it captured were blurry, but one thing was unmistakable: there was movement inside. And then, without warning, the feed went dark. The probe shut down completely. Every signal lost. The last frame it transmitted showed a faint light glowing from within the object, shaped like an eye, slowly opening.
Panic broke out among the research crew. Some ran from the chamber, terrified, while others tried desperately to restart the systems, but nothing worked. Every piece of electronic equipment in the area went dead. Even the lights flickered out for several minutes. When power finally returned, the artifact was no longer glowing. It was silent again, as if nothing had happened. Yet everyone in the room felt that something had changed. In the following days, strange phenomena began to occur across Jerusalem. Locals reported hearing deep rumbling sounds beneath the ground, like distant thunder that never stopped. Compass readings fluctuated wildly, and flocks of birds started circling the Temple Mount at night. Scientists called it coincidence, but many believed the awakening of the buried object had already begun. The government released a statement claiming that no unusual activity had been recorded. But leaked photos told a different story. Satellite imagery showed subtle distortions in the Earth's magnetic field directly over the Temple Mount, something no natural geological process could explain. It was as if an invisible energy source had come online, pulsing beneath the surface. Meanwhile, the team of archaeologists who first entered the chamber began disappearing from the public eye. Their social media accounts were deleted, and their families refused to comment. A few journalists claimed that the scientists had been relocated to a secure facility for debriefing, but no one could confirm where they went. The silence only fueled more theories and global fascination. New whispers emerged. The artifact was not just ancient, it was alive. Some claimed it was a form of intelligent technology, left by a civilization that predated recorded history, possibly the same one that built the great megalithic structures across the world. If that were true, the Temple Mount might have been built on top of this artifact intentionally to protect it, or to hide it forever. As more underground scans were conducted, researchers found that the metallic chamber extended farther than anyone expected, vast corridors branching out for miles beneath. Jerusalem, connecting to other historical sites. These tunnels appeared to form a network, like veins spreading energy across the city. The shape of the network eerily matched ancient diagrams found in sacred Hebrew and Sumerian texts. Experts began to wonder, could this be what ancient prophets referred to as the foundation stone, the place where heaven and earth once met? If so, the Temple Mount wasn't just a spiritual site. It could be the heart of an ancient power system, one that linked humanity with forces far beyond our current science. Soon after, a powerful storm struck the region, unlike any seen in decades. Lightning repeatedly struck the area around the mount, each bolt seeming to hit the same invisible point above the ground. Witnesses reported seeing a faint blue glow rising from the earth afterward, shimmering like energy escaping from deep below. And just as quickly as it started, the storm ended. The next morning, all seismic and magnetic activity in the area went silent, completely flat. As if the earth itself had stopped breathing, authorities blocked all access to the mount, declaring it unsafe. Yet behind closed doors, a handful of scientists claimed the readings didn't just stop, they inverted. The pulse wasn't gone, it had moved. No one knows where that energy went, or if it's still traveling beneath the earth. But one thing is certain, whatever was hidden under the Temple Mount was indeed meant to be disturbed. And now, something ancient, powerful, and possibly alive may have finally awakened.